Welcome to Cooking with Dee Dee. Today we're making, ta-da! Before we get started, why don't you subscribe to my channel and hit that bell button so you can be notified every time I post a new video. Okay, preheat your oven to 325. What we have today, we're going to make rum cake. So what we need is a cup of pecans, a yellow cake mix, a box of instant vanilla pudding, 4 eggs, a half a cup of cold water, a half a cup of rum, preferably dark rum, but I didn't have any dark rum, so we're going to use light rum. And instead of using the half a cup of water and a half a cup of rum, I'm going to use 1 cup of rum. Forget this water. And you need a half a cup of oil. Like I said, preheat your oven to 325. Go ahead and spray your bundt pan. And you can either spray your bundt pan and put your nuts at the bottom of the bundt pan, and then when you get finished making your cake mix, put that on top of the nuts. Or you could just add the nuts into the batter, however you want to do the nuts. Or you could just take the nuts out completely. After this, I'm going to show you how we make the glaze. But first, let's get started on putting the cake batter together. You're basically going to put all your wet ingredients in first. So your oil, your eggs, and your rum. I usually go ahead and get that started. So that's kind of mixed together before I add in my dry ingredients. Now I'm going to add in my dry ingredients. Well, my cake batter at least. And then add in your pudding. Let that whip for about 2 minutes. Now you're going to fold those pecans into the batter. gonna just pour that batter in. Oops, getting it all over the place. Now you're going to put that in the oven, 325 for 1 hour. Okay, in a saucepan, you're going to melt and warm up 1 stick of butter, a half a cup of water, and 1 cup of powdered sugar. You can add more powdered sugar to get the thickness that you want to get. But for now, we're going to start with 1 cup. And you're just going to let this butter melt and get all the ingredients combined. And then you're going to let that boil for about 5 minutes. Like I said, you want that to melt, and then once it melts, you'll let that cook for about 5 minutes. Then you're going to add in a half a cup of rum. Again, if you want it super soaked, instead of using a half a cup of water, you can use a half a cup of rum, but that's going to cook off anyway. So that last half cup of rum that you add in, you'll take this saucepan off of the heat and add that last half a cup of rum. And again, you want to use dark rum. I'm using light rum because that's all I had, but you want to use dark rum. And then after you take the cake out the oven, you just pour this glaze over the cake, and I'll show you how once the cake comes out the oven. I'm going to add another half a cup of sugar just because I like mine a little thicker. Just a little thicker, because remember, you still got to add another half a cup of more liquid into this. And now is the time to cook this sugar down to cook off the sugar taste. You just want pure, sweet, buttery rum flavor. Now that this is all melted down, like I said, you're just gonna cook that for about 5 minutes and then add your last half a cup of rum. said 5 minutes, but I guess a minute is good. You just want to get everything dissolved. So once you see it bubbling like that, you can go ahead and turn off the heat. Turn off the heat. And like I said, add that last half a cup of rum. Give that a good stir. And get ready to soak your cake. Like with all cakes that you're gonna soak in something, you want to stab it well. I do a little trick, a little bit different than most folks. I soak my rum cake in the pan. I soak it in the pan. That way it can go down to the bottom. And just soak all them juices up. I'll let that sit for a minute or two, and then I'll flip it out onto a cooling rack. I just kind of like to rotate it around so that it'll go to all sides of it. Again, let that sit for about a minute and then flip it out onto a cooling rack. And it's best to flip it out on a cooling rack like this, where the juices can go down to the pan. And then I can like tilt it to the corner, get some of those juices and continue basting. Ready? Just go ahead and slide that onto a Remember, whether you eat to live or live to eat, just stick with me and enjoy good living.